brothers, lots of, and I got some brothers on the line. So you guys tell me if you've heard this too. I've heard brothers say that a lot of sisters seem a little tougher to deal with when they're trying to court them, meaning walking up to them, hey, how you doing, trying to get their number, and that white women seem to be more submissive in that regard when it comes to just trying to get closer to them. And what do y'all say
Well,
about that?
if I had a house on the hill for the last 3-4 centuries, I would be very happy and pleasant as well. But unfortunately, the women in our family have not had that luxury in life to be
I
well
agree.
kept. You understand, and well kept and well groomed for that type of attitude. I think sometimes our brothers got to give us a break. They'll tell us, "Oh, you shouldn't be so emotional. You shouldn't be so independent." And it's honestly at the end of the day, when have we ever had a choice not to? When have we ever had a choice to depend on somebody? I had a conversation with my cousin the other day because me and her haven't spoken since my son was born 6 years ago over some stupid family fallout. And so she reached out to me to apologize for her role in the whole thing, and I accepted because she was the wrong one. I wasn't about to back down. But she did eventually reach out, and so we talked about some of the struggles that we've kind of identified within our lives. And she said, Reese, how come you'll never talk to nobody about that? How come you never tell nobody? I said, Crystal, who was going to care in our family? Who was going to do anything about it? Who was going to help me? And she was like, dang, you're right. Nobody. And in my family, women are not allowed to fall and fail and lack the ability to care for themselves or provide for themselves. If you need something in my family, you better be about to die, because otherwise they're getting ready to tell you that you need to be more responsible, that you should have thought about that. This is not my problem, so on and so forth. Which goes back to the reason why I said my cousin and I both had to have conversations with our in-laws, because to be a part of a family that welcomes you and helps you and feeds you and invests into your life, that's not something that our families are necessarily known for. So when it happens, it's more of a rarity. It's more of a rare occasion that you'll see Black people supporting each other and creating an environment where women can be feminine and women can be agreeable and women can let their hair down and be soft and all of this romanticized stuff that everybody wants from a Black woman. And it's like, look, if y'all want all this stuff from me, I'm gonna need for you to help me to get there. Create a condition where I can put my feet up. Create a condition where I can take a bubble bath and drink a glass of champagne and make your breakfast in the morning. Like, can I take the day off? Because half of the minute I know their woman got to go to work,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
they
I
don't.
think
You know, yeah,
the thing is we're not patient with each other, man, black men and black women.
agreed.
Being that a lot of the disadvantages black women of course and black men, but I'm speaking on black women right now, had in this country where they had to raise children without a man in the household. And I know it's incentivized by the
Mm-hmm.
government, of course, all the assistance they give them and stuff like that. And of course I know a lot of it falls back on men too. Some men just leaving women. So being that all these women are raising these children and have to play both roles, the feminine role and the masculine role, and then they end up teaching their daughters this. And then when we approach some of these women, and then or we're like, oh, why they so masculine? Why they're like this? And then we go to a Caucasian woman or whatever, and they act different. You know what I'm saying? We don't think about the trauma that this sister went through. And I think we just gotta be patient with each other, of course, but people are not gonna instinctively think about, oh man, this is why this black women act like this.
I would totally disagree with her because I'm a dark skinned male. Now, I'm older though, but I'm a dark skinned male. So back in my time, dark skinned male wasn't the guy who you would say is attracted from your own melanin race. So the girls that I was attracted to, they didn't like me. Why? Because I wasn't light skinned. So what? Why can't I can blame the black women for not creating an environment for me? That's why I would disagree with her at. Because for me, I had to like, well, wait a minute, I like my sisters, but some of my sisters don't like me because I'm too dark. So that creates a bad sight for me or my path to a black woman is created. It's like it's messed up. But if I was lighter, it wouldn't be that way, right? So I mean, this is again, I'm going back some years, but there are things I think that we do to each other culturally that make
I
it
would
more
agree
difficult.
with that. I
You know
would
that,
agree
and
with
I
that.
think,
Yeah,
And
and I
just
think,
as
because
a
they
little joke,
said,
you know that's how, that y'all back in style now, though, right?
absolutely, I'm going back to the Wesley Snipes days. So I'm for the old,
Y'all
but
have definitely made a comeback, sir.
but I'm
well,
glad. But I'm glad that she said that because I've heard a lot of women say that that listen, this is what my situation. And for instance, let's say you have a woman. I think we talked about this, Kevin. I don't know if we I think we talked about this. Let's say you have a woman, she grew up in a home without a father.
yeah, we
And
did.
then she goes, she has children, and now there's no father. Now she gets married to a man. Somehow she's just supposed to be submissive to him when her entire life she has
She's
no
not.
idea what that even looks like, right? But this is
All
the
right.
problem. What man is going to sit back and say, okay, I'm going to continue to be with a woman that's combative. I'm going to continue to be with a woman that's argumentative. I'm going to continue to be with a woman that doesn't want to do things my way. Now I got to fight with her because she had
Right.
a bad upbringing. Like I think what the brother's trying to say is we had it bad too, but we had to just work through it. And
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
glad you brought that point up because it is difficult, but I had to learn to do that. When I got married, I had to learn that, you know what? I have to be, I can't be combative. I can't be argumentative. I can't be going back and forth with him. I got to learn to be submissive to this man and allow him to be the leader that he is. Because if I continue to go back and forth with him, it's just going to end up in divorce. It's going to end up in separation. But this is a difficult task. This is not something that can just happen. So what I'm thinking is the answer for brothers to say, you know what? She's not, this is too hard. I'm just gonna go and get me a white girl because she seems to know how to be submissive. Like, is that the answer? Because I don't think that's the answer either.
Well, some people think that is the answer. I mean, from a male perspective, yeah. I mean, I work with a guy right now who is married to, I think she's Chinese. In their culture, they treat men a certain way. It's not even a question, and he knows that. So, and they don't have the type of issues that he is looking forward to having with people of his own race because that is how that culture is. Majority of the Chinese culture, the male is the male, and they are the female, and that's just how it is. They're automatically that's how they look. That's how their culture is. It's not a wrestling match. Whereas in our culture, it's a wrestling match. If you get to the wrestling match, you get the prize. That type of thing. Because I mean, there are very good sisters out there. I mean, I'm married to two, right? So I know that there are good sisters out there, but it's a wrestling match. So, but it depends on how you look at it. Again, I was raised from a single a single parent home. My mother was parent, remember? So how I'm looking at this situation, it could be completely different than how another black male who was raised by a black male is looking at it too. See what I'm saying? So for me, I can kind of deal with the wrestling match because I was raised up by a black female and a good one. So I'm like, well, you know what? Yeah, there's gonna be some struggles here, but I know at the end of the road, under the wrestling match, there's a prize for me, right? Based on how I was raised, though. A lot of this is how we were raised. We're none of us were all raised in the same household, so we have to consider the difference. Like you just said, Christina, too. Like you had all these people in the same home, but y'all all experience things differently. Stanley said the same thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I said the same thing. Me and my brother, we looked at things differently. You know, my brother is, I think he married, I think she's Puerto Rican or whatever, but he didn't marry. He didn't want to marry somebody in his race. Again, we all was in the same household, yet we all perceive things from the world differently. So
But I
I would
think
say,
Hollywood and the music industry and everything, though, what they're pushing on black women is making black women at a disadvantage too. This I don't need a man and I can do this all by myself and I'm independent. Um, you look at all the other races, they don't do that. It's like it's only the sisters that's doing that, and I'm not blaming it on the sisters. It's the media that they all want to push this strong, and it's not wrong with being strong because I understand these sisters had to go through a lot, especially with not a man there, but we see that um oh oh, strong black sister. We don't see you on white women saying that, Chinese women saying that, and all
Mm-mm,
this.
sure don't.
And it sounds good,
That's
but look what's going on behind it though. You know what I'm saying? The men like, I don't want to deal with this. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, well, the thing is, a man want a woman that he can take care of. You know what I'm saying? And it might sound some women might feel like, I don't want no man controlling me. Is I don't think it's a control thing. I think it's like a man wants to lead. He wants you to need him, and you feel like, oh, I don't need a man, then he's gonna be like, okay, then all right, then I want to find a woman that needs me.
We are not taught how to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
We are not taught. I mean, I will say this. I mean, I want to be